The continuous dry weather in Saint Lucia has created water supply issues for the Water and Sewage Company Inc. Wasco. The reduction in raw water availability has affected consumer supply constraints and water treatment procedures. In order to maintain water quality regulations and optimize operations, Wasco has made some adjustments. Chief Executive Officer Zilta George Leslie says at present Wasco is experiencing a dry spell due to adverse effects of the climate change.
But the dry spells are affecting our systems very significantly, and as you will be aware, most of you with us here today, climate change is impacting on our systems. Climate change, of course, we are seeing increased frequency, increased intensity, and we're also seeing increased duration. So what we have is that most of our systems are beginning to dry up. So we are having a lot of rapid evaporation of our systems, and we also have very low flows in a lot of our rivers.
Though Wasco is currently experiencing island-wide low water levels due to immense evaporation at their various plants, the most affected areas are in the south of the island on their southern water lines. Hamish Joseph, Senior Operations Supervisor of the Southern Services, says
the effects range from a reduction of about 20% in some areas to as much as 80% in other communities. So with that, we've activated valving programs in a number of communities. Although as the dry season progresses, those may not be able to meet what's needed demand-wise. The biggest challenge we have thus far is that persons' usage has not changed. They have not taken into consideration the reduced supply coming from our intakes. And as Ms. Leslie has already stated, we can't put drought measures in ourselves. So I would love all customers to be mindful that, especially in the south of the geography that we have, if your neighbor lives higher than you, if you doing anything with water, they will be affected.
Ali Anthony, Chief of Operations, provided the best practices that St. Lucians can do to conserve and store water during this dry season. He urges individuals to be judicious in their actions.
Normal dry season, we have reduced rainfall, we have increased evaporation on our reservoir, we have more water losses through evapotranspiration, like for example for our small intakes. You have a lot of water loss through evaporation from water from the trees. So once we have that, we will see the results, and the consequences of that is just reduced water flows into our intakes. So we have to be judicious in the way we use water.
Among Wasco's solutions is the implementation of a community sharing or rationing regime for water distribution.
In the next couple weeks, where we will have to definitely reduce on the length of time certain areas get water. So we're going to be putting in a schedule, so you may instead, some cases you may be reduced by at least 2 days. So some persons who usually get water 7 days a week, you might only now be getting water 5 days a week. Those who get 5 days a week, you might only be getting water for 3 days a week, because it's the only way for us to try to conserve ourselves, conserve what we have currently. We ourselves conserve what we have. We would have to put in a severe sharing or rationing program, and you of course will have no choice but to conserve at that point in time.
As part of conservation efforts, Wasco has launched a water tank promotion to increase portable water storage capacity from April 23rd to July 31st. The promotion aims to provide a reliable backup for essential activities while minimizing disruption. The company is working with community stakeholders to provide relief efforts and emergency water supplies for affected households, and remains committed to monitoring the situation and implementing measures to manage the available water supply effectively. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austinay.